You know, it's funny how perspective will change your mind on things, right? A little perspective goes a long way, right? I guess 2 million people have starved in over in the Gaza, Palestine, Israel situation, and I actually have a much keener understanding of that than I did a few months ago. Like when this first started, I was like, "Fuck Israel, drop all the bombs." I'm still on the fuck Israel side because they're still practicing like basically 14th century sheiks and harems, polygamous practices. All of the most horrible shit that has led us into this crisis pretty much stems from them. So while I'm not a fan of them, the reality of the situation is, now that I understand the situation, I understand why they're doing what they're doing, really, you know? And it really comes down to this, dude. If you guys do the math, in the last 5 years, there has been, lowballing it, I'm going to keep bringing this up, 69.5 million excess male populace created globally. A population that has no access to mates because all their mates got aborted, but has access to planes, trains, and aeroplanes. Planes, trains, and cars, trucks, fucking boats, Carnival cruises, right? And so that's just the whole fucking issue, right? And that's just in the last 5 years. So I went back, I started doing the math more, but I just realized I was not be able to I didn't want to know the real number. But it's roughly in the last 30 years, we're probably looking around roughly 300 million globally, especially because we have create around 30 million here just in the United States, right? Plus whatever Canada's a little more liberal, so they probably are up to like 60. So we made 90 million disenfranchised males locally before movement. You know what I mean? And so the situation in Israel's like this, is they have created this situation and they can't escape really. If they try and fly out, they'll get blown up. You know, so what and right now, a lot of people don't know this, it's not hitting the mainstream, but there is a very large slave army. I think I don't know what territory, but they are heading in that direction, dude. Huge. They have pictures, cell phone videos, you know, of them on the march. I talked to my buddy who fought in Kurdistan, and he's was able to firsthand testify what that looks like, right? And yeah, so it makes perfect sense. Of course, they're gonna blow up fucking Palestine, right? And that's just to clear. That's so everyone who's in Israel can flee across a flat part of Palestine to a series of ships and bounce the fuck out of there. Right now, who's going to pick them up? I don't know. It might be Americans. It might not. There might be no one there to pick them up. Right. But as the global supply chains breaks down and they run out of reserves in Israel, like how do I put this? Regardless of whether or not the mass of Israelis trapped in Israel escape before the slave army gets there, when the slave army gets there, by slave army, what I'm talking about, I mean a whole bunch of retards who have bred to be retards and have been indoctrinated from children by priests. From this time they're children by priests to be racial and ethnic superiorists, even though they have nothing of value to offer the fucking world, which is just fucking hilarious in reality. But so I'm making a prediction once again, and my prediction is eventually the whole Israel-Palestine situation is going to turn into that situation like we had in Vietnam, where there's women and kids getting on the boats to the last 3 seconds and the tanks are rolling over and the fucking boats leave, right? That's a clue, that's assuming we can even get the boats over there, right? It might be totally possible that is no longer in the capability. I haven't been in the Navy for a while. I don't know what's happening when it comes to oceanic warfare and drones and all that. You know, but if you think the starvation that's happening right now is bad, it's going to get a lot worse. I mean, like, how many people did Mao Zedong have to starve because he was doing the abortion thing? Like, it was at least a few million, right? So the 132 that have gone so far, really not a big number compared to what's about to happen, right? You know? And it's important to note that while these people are all fucking starving to death, China is creating a fucking big-ass fucking plane drone swarm thing, weapon system, and it's going to be exterminating a lot of the rest of them. And the ones that flee here, that are currently importing their diseased fucking social practices of child abuse and fucking the rape of women as a form of warfare behind a fucking nice smiley lie and a few fucking locals they've bribed, they're going to want Americans to get involved in that war. they're gonna want us to be like, yo, you have to stop this horrible genocide. We are gonna help stop the horrible genocide. We're gonna stop it by destroying the industries that create it. Namely, number one, top of the list, fucking abortion. Right? All of the murder, all of the fucking slaughter, all of the fucking starvation that is currently happening in the Middle East stems from the practice of abortion, not only there in India, but also in countries like Europe and countries like here. All of it. Literally fucking all of it. Because abortion is intrinsically tied to the removal of homeostasis from men and women by creating an artificially high number of males relative to female counterparts in general society. Okay? Right? So all you bitches who are like, this starvation thing is fucking horrible. These millions of children starving is horrible. These wars are fucking horrible, right? If there's any woman out there who feels like that, which I don't think any of you fucking do. I think secretly, when you're behind closed curtains, you're fucking rubbing your hands together in glee. In reality, understand, if you don't, it's gonna happen. We're too far along this road now. But if you don't want it to happen in the future, you really need to start demonizing the practice of abortion, because it literally stems from that. There's a direct causal link. You know what I mean? You know, so it's just like, don't bitch about it, all right? You guys had abortion for 6, 7 months, 9 months, 9 years, how many, 30 years? Since the last 30 years you've had abortion, something like that, right? And this is a 30-year debt that is attached to that fucking practice, okay? This is a 30-year debt attached to that fucking practice. And so everyone who has ever had any part in any fucking abortion, be they male or female, is technically at least partially responsible for every single fucking death by starvation that's currently happening on the other side of the country. Every single fucking person. Right? Which, you know, it makes you kind of a shitty person, you know? You didn't think about the consequences of your actions. You you took some steps for personal, what do you call it? Reward? You know? And you didn't give a fuck how it rolled down. And so it just doesn't sound real or genuine when liberal fucking cunts, who I see are pro-women's rights and pro-abortion, say, oh, help the Palestinians. Bitch, the Palestinians wouldn't be in this fucking situation if you didn't need to fucking have 3 abortions so you could stay in the clubs, Miranda. You know what I mean? Like, it's silly. So, you know, food for thought. If you're really sad about, how you doing? If you're really sad about the massive starvation that's already started and will continue, fuck you, basically. Fuck you, especially if you're a fucking liberal or a Democrat. No one believes you. It's all your fault in reality. You know what I mean? And I'm just so sick of you dumb hoes demonizing the very fucking people that make your lifestyle fucking possible. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, we've all been saying, like, yo, this is a dumb thing. This is going to be a horrible disaster for everybody. And no one's been listening to us. And now that you're here, and we're like, well, it happened and we were right, and so now the big boys have to step over and take over. You want to treat us like we're the assholes. Okay. The practice of technologically high industry fucking polygamy, i.e. space age pimping, i.e. the same dumb, useless sack of shit pimp who would have had 5 hoes in the past now has 30 hoes, is collapsing the fucking global economy. Okay? Abortion is collapsing the fucking global economy. Alright? Because that entire fucking region over there is dependent on blackmail to feed their fucking slaves, and will murder their slaves if we don't feed them. We're all currently being held hostage as a nation by our fucking compassion. But guess what? People are growing less and less compassion every fucking day. You know what I mean? And so it's just going to hit a point, and it already has hit that point, where everyone is going to figure it out, because technology is going to help bridge lingual gaps that we're not bridgeable before, you know, and cultural gaps. The targeting lines are going to narrow. The focus is going to narrow. Fault is going to be found. Right now, that fault looks like it's landing squarely on Sharia practices, the country of India, and to some extent, Jewish blackmailers, right? And heads are going to roll, right? And the only thing that's going to keep this from happening is the country remaining pacified and slowly sinking into the swamp of child and woman abuse that is currently Europe, of covert rape gangs, of just the most horrible shit on earth, right? And I don't want to live in that. I didn't grow up in that. No one wants to live in that. No one who knows fucking anything thinks that that's fucking acceptable. You know? And to all you motherfuckers who like wanna promote polygamy as an advanced spiritual ideology, or abortion as a necessary female fucking right, don't ever come to me with the idea that you have the spirituality. Because all of the death that is happening pretty much in the Middle East right now is the result of your practices, you're advocating for over a multi-generational period. They don't actually stem from America, no matter what the fucking propaganda says. And you know how you can tell? Because America isn't a giant trash pile yet, right? Those practices being imported to America are making it into a fucking trash pile. But it's pretty nice, mostly compared to fucking everywhere else that is practicing this shit. And if you go to everywhere where they are practicing this shit, it's a giant mound of fucking garbage. Because they've been practicing it for so long and they're just stacking up the garbage. Right? So, if you believe any of that shit, you're dumb and fucking wrong. You make me fucking sick. You're you're tangentially responsible for the fucking thousands of people that are about to starve. No, sorry. Hundreds of millions of people that are about to starve to death. Plus the tens of millions that are probably about to be shot in their homes, murdered, killed in warfare in the next like 5 to 10 years. Right? I hear they're already driving the fucking deportation planes out over the ocean and just driving them back. It's like they fucking bamfed right out of the back of the fucking plane, dog. Never made it to El Salvador. You know, and it's just like... it's cool, guys. This is like... It's cool. It's chill. I went to a different country and like bombed a bunch of fucking villages. I am also responsible. Okay, there's people that shoot people every fucking day on behalf of the United States. All right? But we're all getting real fucking tired. And the bodies we're trying to stack are fucking getting the walls of bodies that we're stacking to keep you fucking bitches in Botox and bull dick is getting a little fucking extreme for the world. So if you could all just fucking wise up and become highly conscious, moral people like yesterday, that would be so fucking cool, right? And if you're like, I'd love to wise up and become highly emotional, but I'm a woman, I'm currently getting beat by a bunch of fucking pimps. Just fucking call me, right? Just fucking call me and be like, this guy. Okay, because like this is a global effort that's happening. Okay, and if you're a chick, you've been in the game so long, you're like a Ghislaine Maxwell type. And you're like, oh, I'm not going to call you. You're going to fuck up my retirement. You know what? I'm happy to fuck up your retirement. And if I catch you, I'd treat you the same way I fucking would treat Einstein or Ghislaine Maxwell if I fucking found them. I'd put you quietly out of everyone's misery, dude. Torture is wrong too, unless you need info. Then it's like, it's a sliding scale.